Philadelphia University. You cut out an entire year. You do 3 years at Stockton, 2 years at the Philadelphia University. You cut out an entire year. You do 3 years at Stockton, 2 years with the program. 5 years you're coming out. We're getting physician's assistants that's going to take care of all of us. Me in my old age, you a little bit younger, and we bring it to Atlantic City. Reliance providing the internship, just a great facility. 2 great guys here on my left that's bringing jobs for the area, and it gives our youth the ability to achieve a whole lot better than working at one of the houses behind me that seem to be closing every couple of months. I know that there will always be a need for health care because none of us are taking care of ourselves as well as we should. So I think this is a wonderful major, very exciting time, and to be able to bring it to Atlantic City is really wonderful. I'm sure we'll be able to take any questions that you have at this point.
Yes, if we can, I'd like to introduce now, thank you, Mayor, Dr. John Regis from Reliance, and also Mr. Vince Papaccio. And from there, I think they will be introducing their partners in the program, Dr. Spinelli and Dr. Baker from Philadelphia University, and Dr. Kesselman, who's the provost of Richard Stockton College of New Jersey. So at this point, I'll give it to Dr. Regis, and then they'll go down the line.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. John Regis. This is a great day. I mean, it's a really great day. Not only because I'm a resident of Atlantic City is my home now. It's a great day for Atlantic City, Atlantic County, state of New Jersey, where we are collaborating with the Richard Stockton College and Philadelphia University and bringing a graduate level physician assistant program here into the city of Atlantic City. One might ask how, why, and why are we doing it here? Let me just say that there is a lack of primary care physicians and providers in this country, more acutely in some of our urban and rural areas, but all across the country there's a lack of doctors out there to provide primary care. And because of the Affordable Care Act and other reasons, there's going to be more patients, clients accessing the healthcare system. But what good is it if you have insurance if you don't have a provider to take care of you? Statistics have shown that over the next 5 to 10 years, the category of provider physician assistants is going to be one of the fastest growing providers of healthcare in this country. I believe that we're not going to have enough physicians, so we're going to have other providers to meet this ever-growing, burgeoning need of providing primary care. Because even in medical school now, we're seeing that the numbers of medical students that are applying to be primary care physicians are dwindling, primarily because primary physicians are paid less than some of the more higher paid specialties. So we're going to have to meet the ever-growing need. We're going to have other types of providers being on the front line, increasing access to primary care. And I think that this collaborative effort is going to acutely address that need. And I'm so proud, and I want to thank Mayor Don Guardian for inviting us in and having this press conference. I think it's going to be a boom for Atlantic. Instead of talking about things closing in Atlantic City, we're going to be opening in Atlantic City. We're bringing in a program in the city for the first time, a new partner with Philadelphia University. You know, we keep hearing about the same people over and over again. I think we're bringing new blood into the city, so I have new opportunities, new jobs, and more access to health care. At this time, I'm going to stop because I can go on and on and on because I'm very excited about this. You know, and people know that I can get to talking. But I want to introduce my chief operating officer and partner, Vince Papaccio. And let me say that we would not be here today if it hadn't been for his idea. In fact, I kind of poo-pooed it at first. Coming back to one of my offices in Camden, we were already working with Philadelphia University and providing externships to their students. He said, let's go meet with them and maybe there's something else that we could do. And because of that idea, here we stand today with starting a full-blown program, students coming in here in September, August 2015, 50, maybe up to 150, going to be living, eating, working, studying here in Atlantic City. So without further ado, Vince Papaccio.
I wore this for the mayor and Dr. Kessler. Well, I'm almost overwhelmed. I want to add one really important thing. We just said we're bringing new blood, but as I look around the room, and I think partly what you brought in your short term is a lot of Atlantic City and Atlantic County people who have maybe been involved before or have not been involved. And when you see something like this happening, and I can go around the room, there are just so many people in this room that want to see success come to our town, are contributing to success, new faces, old faces. I think this is the future of Atlantic City, Mayor, and I think you bring a lot of that spirit in what you brought in your first 100 days. So again, that's why we brought it. Well, that's why we brought this. I was talking to Dr. Spinelli, and I said, well, I'm a dreamer, but there was a person who was a visionary who worked just as hard as I did after I came up with a vision. And that was Dean Baker, Dr. Baker.
Yeah.
And so we're going to introduce him in just a short while. And you can have a lot of vision, or you can have a lot of dreams, but you need a visionary, and then you need a lot of hard workers. And as I look around the room also, I see a lot of Reliance people in the room that we can't get done what Dr. Regis and I try to do every day without them. And then I also see an awful lot of people who work with us who are vendors. The room is filled with our friends who are our vendors, and again, without them, we couldn't succeed. And that's one of Dr. Regis and I's biggest goals in life. The quality of health care is a right, not a privilege. And if you really think about that, that's a lot about fellowship and relationships. And that's what Dr. Regis and I really hold high in our personal values. There are people who are going to talk about the program much more detail than I can. We are, to say we're excited, to say that it's been a lot of work by a lot of people, with a lot of people scrutinizing this program from a lot of different ways, you wouldn't be able to talk about it enough. But it certainly is going to be a quality program, like everything Stockton does, everything Philadelphia University does, and everything Reliance does, everything we touch. We make some mistakes here and there, but most everything we touch comes out to be golden and successful, and the people surrounding us end up being that same way, and I think that's another tribute to all of us. So again, I'm not much different than Dr. Regis, and our staff say we could talk too long and too much. And I wanted to take a few seconds and introduce the next speaker, Dr. Stephen Spinelli. We met him now 2 or 3 years ago, and he's done so much for Philadelphia University, and we're hoping that he can bring some of that spirit down to Atlantic City, a new spirit, although we have a lot of people very similar to him in the town. But it's just been my pleasure, my honor, and I can't wait to be working with you more closely in a very successful program.
You're a good man. Thank you for inviting Philadelphia University of Atlantic City. It's a real pleasure to be here and to meet you, Mr. Mayor, and our wonderful partners. The pressure on higher education to be relevant is immense and appropriate. We hear about the cost of higher education, and do we get the outcomes that we expect from the dramatic allocation of resources? This is a perfect example of bringing a relevant set of partners to deliver education in a way that adds value to the students and adds value to the community. And you think about the way that this collaboration has been formed. It is about a first-class undergraduate program that has acclaim and vision and intensity, and it feeds into our nationally ranked Masters of Science program in physician assistant, and it is made relevant by a clinical partner that is serving the need now throughout the county and beyond with 30, 31, 35, 40.
We don't.
Just, when we first met, I think he had one location. They just keep growing, and it really was about people who believe that higher education has to provide value to their communities, and the stakeholders at large, the students, the faculty, the communities, and here the partners in industry. It is a wonderful model that I think can be replicated throughout higher education. I think this is really a groundbreaking kind of partnership. I think Dean Baker can speak to this with greater authority. It's probably the first such collaboration. It is a 3 and 2 with 3 partners. That's hard work to get done. But when people believe, and when you have a vision, and when you really dream with your feet on the ground and taking action against it, great things can happen. We think that this program can grow dramatically, and we think the nature of the partnership can grow dramatically, and we think we can have a real effect on Atlantic City and maybe much further beyond that. But I want Dean Baker to come up and talk a little bit about the program and tell us why it's such a good program. Thank you, sir.
So this is really an exciting exciting opportunity for me in a variety of ways. Number one, it brings me a little bit home. I'm a Stockton graduate, a proud Stockton graduate, and spent 20 years in the New Jersey Air National Guard, so this is a wonderful time for me. As people have said, PAs, I believe, are an integral part of the new healthcare horizon. And we've been doing a wonderful job of training for the last 20 years, and it's great to be in this partnership model. We'll be getting amazingly trained students from Stockton. The 2-year portion they'll go through at the Philadelphia University campus here in Atlantic City with Reliance and Stockton will be a 2-year program. That first year will all be classroom and lab-based, and then the second year will be 10 rotations in a variety of medical specialties, and they'll come out, they'll be prepared to take the boards. Our students do great at taking the boards. 100% of them get a job, and we love that. And it's just really an exciting opportunity to do it with 2 partners that know the area and know the environment of healthcare and know the environment of higher ed here in Atlantic County. So this is really exciting for me. And I'd like to introduce I met Harvey, Dr. Kesselman, who's the provost over at Stockton. We met at a Harvard Leadership Conference about maybe 15 years ago.
Let's not go into that.
And we were the only 2 Stockton grads there, and we got to become friendly at that point, and so it's exciting.
Most of us had prepared words, but then we're going to just throw those away because this is a really, really exciting moment. First, we have 4 partners: the City of Atlantic City, Reliance, Stockton, and Philadelphia University. That's number 1. Number 2, it's a welcome home, another welcome home for Stockton, because as most of you know, we opened up on the Mayflower Hotel in Atlantic City back in 1971. I know that to be true because I was in that first class, and there are some people that go back that far. This is terrific opportunity for not only residents of Southern New Jersey, but residents of all of New Jersey, who will be coming to this program. To get through the labyrinth of bureaucracy that one has to get through just with one program, but to do it through 2 different states, licensing requirements associated with it, having a meds and eds partnership, and to do it within a 3.5-year time period in New Jersey is not an insignificant accomplishment, and it was due in part for the hard work by so many people. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that our faculties had worked together closely. Either we Skyped together and had each visit one another's campus to align our curricula so that we could create a program that students could save a full year. It's a 3+2, 3 years, and the first year of their Philadelphia University experience. At the conclusion of that first year, they then get the Stockton Baccalaureate in Health Sciences. They will also get, and then the next year they'll get the master's from Philadelphia University. On the way, they get a medical certificate and a nursing certificate. So it's not as if there'll be milestones throughout the academic experience for students to continue on their education to ensure that those who enter graduate. We are confident that that will occur. All of our energy will make certain that happens. This is an extraordinary time for Stockton, as you know, for Philadelphia University, for Reliance, and of course for Atlantic City. We all need, as we all know, to work together to ensure the vitality and success of this city. We are deeply committed to it. I'd like to introduce our new, and I mean new, this is her first day, we got her from Seton Hall, the Dean of Health Sciences, Dr. Teresa Bartolotti. Right here. Familiar with these kinds of programs, and we're very happy that she's on campus. And just for your information, we're here to answer any specific questions that you might have with respect to the program. It begins not this fall, it will begin next fall, so people understand that. Actually summer, July 2015, in July, and then it will begin to ratchet up to the point where we'll be eventually 40 first-time students per year, of which 20 will be Stockton students and 20 will be Philadelphia University. So you're talking about a program that's going to grow, and it's going to grow very, very quickly. There are only 2 other physician assistant programs in New Jersey, and they're both in northern New Jersey, and that's really, Jersey's the southern part. That's another state. And so this is the only one. Oh, please get that one. So worry, Governor, no, there's one thing. We'll get it, and but it's a real commitment to this region, and it's something that we all need. So once again, thank you for being so supportive. Just the turnout today reinforces that the work that preceded it was well worth it. So thank each and every one.
Before we open for questions, I wanted to just say one word, and that's to the Reliance staff that's here in this room. I've never worked with a bunch of people who I've been more proud of. I know we've had our roles and we go back and forth, but I think the Reliance has the greatest staff that anybody could ever have. They bought into the vision, they drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm so proud that we're represented in this room. And I couldn't be prouder of the work you've done to make Reliance what it is, because without them, we would never be able to be where we are now. And you're going to be a big part of this program as we start to roll it out. At this point, are there any questions for any of us about the program?
I have a bunch of sort of technical questions. If you want to wait, I'll just ask them later. You say you're going to start with 24 students in the first class and 50 will start in Philadelphia at the same time. Is that an expansion of your current program, or are you just moving 24 of the 75 to Atlantic City? Or is it expanding to Atlantic City?
It's an expansion of our current
Expansion,
program.
okay.
Yes.
All right, so the 50 have always been in Philadelphia.
They'll stay in Philly.
They'll stay in Philly, and then so it's an additional 24 coming in. Okay, that's good to know. People in Philly might want to know that too.
I think that's really,
It's a great question.
that's a great question.
Yes, thank you, okay. And also the site, I know we talked briefly about that. It said the site for the new program, that's still being determined?
Yeah, we're in the process of final negotiations to secure a site in Atlantic City. But one thing I can assure you was that the site will be in the confines of Atlantic City. In fact, we'll be talking to the mayor shortly about that.
And then will that be jointly used by Reliance and Philadelphia University, or is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So will you'll be using medical services there, you'll be offering medical services there,
Yes.
and they'll be offering, okay.
And there'll be classroom space. It'll be very unique. Students they'll be in classroom and they can walk right downstairs and be right to a medical office.
And I think I spoke to Harvey, you'll be starting with the freshman cohort next September.
For 2015, yes.
For that group to come in, and then they will move in.
They will go through the 3 years of Stockton, and there will be one summer component at least during that period of time. It's rest assured, it's a rigorous curriculum that they'll go through, strong biochem backgrounds, yet they'll come out, they get through this program, you're gonna have some very competent physician assistants coming out.
What will they be getting their bachelor's in?
Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences, BSHS.
Just for a reference point, Reliance already employs 4 physician assistants that are really, five physician assistants that are really a hallmark of what we do.
Okay, I think that's.
Can you give us some idea of what a physician assistant's roles are within the organization, and, what's going to differ your program from others?
Well, let me from Dean Baker, who is a physician assistant.
So PAs, they work in a team with a physician, and they're allowed to do, they see patients, they do histories, physicals, they order tests, they can prescribe medicine in all 50 states. They have a relationship with physicians, so if there's something that they can't handle, they can always call the physician, they're always available. And they work in primary care, they work in surgery, they work in intensive care. And so they work in 26 different specialties in all 50 states.
They can write scripts. In this program, although Reliance will be the primary internship site, again, it being a local program, we'll work with both hospitals, other physician group specialists. So they'll be rotating throughout the county in the most important areas that are needed for their education. From a practical standpoint, we work with them every day at Reliance. So they're in an office, and to the patient may say, my doctor even, because the patient is seeing them on a primary basis, on a first-time basis, and is establishing a relationship that goes on forever. We're hoping our patients stay with us forever. And so there is no distinguishing factor, although they have a supervising physician. In the right circumstance with the right physician, they really are a partner with the physician, and the patient does see them as their primary provider. And it works very, very well.
Let me just add, and one of the things that makes this program unique also is that our Reliance's unique relationship with Atlantic City. We are, in fact, a de facto wing of the Atlantic City's public health department. We provide all of the clinical service for the Atlantic City Health Department in terms of STD, TB clinic, space for HIV counseling. So we're going to be able to provide the PA student unique access to public health. And public health, as you all, maybe you don't know, probably is the backbone of all medical care in this country. Start off as being a public health issue. So we think that in collaboration with the health department here and Director Ron Cash and Mayor John Guardian, that experience of being involved in public health and some of the public health issues. We've had dealt with salmonella outbreaks in restaurants. We've dealt with the Sandy. Really, we had to start an emergency clinic last year. We started in high school because the patients were left in the city. Then we had to move it over to the convention center before.
And there was a PA who manned it.
Yeah, the PA was. In fact, she was on call 24/7 when there was no other medical provider in the city. We established this medical facility at the high school.
Will the students be living in Atlantic City also? Are they find their own housing? Are you looking at that?
That we're hoping. That's some of what we're hoping in terms of what this does for Atlantic City. Someone might ask why in Atlantic City, and one of the reasons I think Stockton and Reliance are very dedicated to the city, and we're hoping our new partner finds that same vision. But besides that dedication to the city, we think there's a need, and that need then would generate them living there, eating any breakfast and dinner there, shopping, maybe living in an apartment above a retail store. That's a dream we see of the future of Atlantic City.
It's part of the men's and men's district everybody's heard about. We're gonna make that a reality.
Will all of the rotations be done in Reliance facility? That'll be, no?
So there'll be hospital rotations, so both hospitals participate. The specialists, there'll probably a rotation through Rothman and some of the other private orthopods. There's gastroenterology, things that are a specialty that Reliance doesn't do. One of the benefits of working with Reliance and being local is we have relationships with all these specialists, both hospitals, all the specialists, our physicians. We have a couple physicians here today, Dr. Barry Kessler and Dr. Robin Meadows, and they're already referring to these people and already have relationships. So when we go and talk to them, it won't be like we're trying to start something, have to convince them that they'll be talking to somebody they get referrals from and will want to do a program like this.
Reliance Medical Group probably has 35,000 to 40,000 patients in this county. You might be going to Reliance doctor, don't even know you're going to one. And because of that patient base and doing about 80,000 visits, we think that we're the best vehicle to provide the best opportunity with the most varied experience in primary care, probably in the state of New Jersey, on an outpatient basis. So we think that the combination of our size and not only diversity, but also representing multiple specialties within Reliance Medical Group, from OBGYN to family practice to internal medicine to podiatry, we can offer a breadth of experience with our students.
How many sites do you have in Atlantic County?
That's 14.
14 in Atlanta?
And I think I'm speaking for the colleges and universities, but they may want to take off on this, on what I'm saying. They're looking for more than just a site. So
Yeah.
they're out searching for sites for internships. And where they have to have them, they get them. And sometimes they get them because they have to have them. What they have found in Reliance is, and we've met several times with Dean Baker and tried to work with them on what are the requirements, what do they want to see covered. So when their PA student or nurse practitioner student for the Stockton comes into Reliance on an internship, they're coming into a place that is welcoming them, has an understanding of what needs to get done, and then participating in the education while also practicing medicine. Again, I relate to Dr. Kessler and Dr. Meadows. They are interested, and in that interest have to also provide care for the patients that are coming to see them. And there's an art and a science to that. You have to want to do that. So it's not just that I'm doing it because the college needs it and they've asked me to do it and maybe have a relationship in some manner. It's because I want to do that. I've learned that in medicine, and they've learned that throughout their careers, that you can come up with a better medical product, the care of your patient, health of your patient, when there's education around you. It stimulates you, it challenges you, there's learning going on at the same time that there's something practical going on. And in that atmosphere, I believe it's been proven that you get a better product from that.
Any other questions?
We know that money is a continuing contributing factor for people that are trying to continue their education. Are there any urban grants that you know available that apply to inner cities that help people continue their education with loans or grant programs that you all can refer people to?
For the first 3 years, we'll talk about Stockton, number one, being a public institution. We're eligible for all of the public grants in New Jersey. And New Jersey, I'm not sure a lot of people know this, but New Jersey has probably the most robust need-based financial aid program in the United States. It's got a tuition aid grant program, which is an extraordinary program. Does have Urban Scholars Program. So the truth of the matter is, it can be students who are financially disadvantaged are certainly able to get full, sometimes all the way full funding for their education. In addition, Stockton sets aside some $13 or $14 million each year out of its operating budget to support students both for merit-based and need-based. So the truth, and that is a lot out of a budget. It's almost 9 to 10% of our operating budget, which is not insignificant commitment to ensuring that kind of accessibility and opportunity. Accessibility and opportunity that students do come there, know that they have a shot to make it through there. And we're deeply committed to that. We have been, our president is firmly behind it, but it's been part of who we are. And what we need to do, and just if you see today, one of the things, again, I will throw out a shout out between the legislature and the governor, they once again funded financial aid about as well as you possibly funded given the economic conditions. So in that regard, certainly New Jersey residents should be well positioned for this program.
I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't ask somebody for scholarship money for students. It's a part of my job, and frankly, I enjoy that part of my job. What we're really concerned with is getting the best students the best opportunity, and I don't think there's a PA student at Philadelphia University that doesn't get some assistance from us. We're committed to having the best education with the best students and the best earning power to go deliver value and to create value for themselves. We want them to have a great career. That's not just for PAs, that's for everybody, and we're both committed to that kind of educational perspective. To be able to do it in an environment that is real world, that is engaged at the level that these guys are engaged, that are solving the kinds of diverse problems, is building better education. It's a good model not only for healthcare, it's a good model for any profession you could imagine. We've built our curriculum around collaborative, active, real world, and engaged problem solving. So this is a part of what we do, and the scholarship part is a deeply embedded piece of who we are. We want great students.
Let me just add one last one.
Just sort of dovetailing at it, is there any special recruiting effort going to be made in the local high schools?
Well, that's an impressive question. My hope is that we would, because Reliance is involved in who I am and what I represent, and what this company represents, we'll have more students, particularly from minority community, but not just there, just from local, because we did. Philadelphia University master's program turns down a lot of South Jersey students that want to apply.
Matt,
PA program is very important.
How many, Matt?
How many applications do we get for the?
We get around, for the whole programs, we get around 2,500 applications.
For how many positions?
We take 50 students a year, and about 20% of those are from New Jersey. And the important thing that we thought we could do here with partners that we couldn't do is people from New Jersey wouldn't have to drive to Philadelphia or New York to get that education. They could get right here, and we hope and then they'll stay here.
So I didn't go into much detail on my vision, but, and it really, John gives me a lot of credit that it's really both of us, but your question is part of my vision of trying to, for a community, and we live in and breathe in this community, doing something for the community, for the children, trying to look at what can Reliance Medical Group do. We're fortunate, we're different than any other practice in this area, and what more can we do for this area, both from an economic standpoint, but then also for children, and trying to get them steered in the right direction. John and I are involved in a myriad of efforts, from mentoring to giving night lectures to just going one-on-one with groups of people, single individuals, and we think we have a golden opportunity to try to identify, and we'll be identifying, the room is filled with our friends and associates, and we'll be identifying people to try to get them into the track in the right way.
Let me just mention one last thing before we close out, is that as I look around this room, I see what America looks like, the diversity, different colors and backgrounds, and that's what Reliance is all about. Reliance brings this kind of group together. If you go into a major meeting now, all you see is the same people, there's something wrong with that meeting. Something wrong with that, because this is America. This is America. And we're proud that we've been able to bring friends and family and employees and partners in rooms that look like this. And we're very proud of that fact, because that's what I was raised upon. That's my objective, to bring this whole canopy of folks into this tent, so we can provide care to our residents, no matter what their economic status is, no matter what their color is, no matter what their background is. And that's what Reliance has always been about. And that's how come we've been blessed and highly favored. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming out today, and a special thanks to Mayor Guardian, not only for his attendance today, but also for his hospitality in allowing us to use his conference room. Thank you all for coming out, and enjoy the refreshments.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, I just don't want like to run down the
hey, I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna see all the customers.
Oh, she is. Excuse me, what's her name?
Brianna. Yeah. But if she can help.
So, Mayor, what this program is going to mean to the city?
Sure, this is very exciting. In order for the city to be able to move forward, it's exciting that we have continuing education. This is a wonderful opportunity for the partnerships that the city needs in order to see the new beginning. And that's Stockton College, Philadelphia University, and the Reliance Medical Group coming together. Up until now, if you wanted to be a physician's assistant, you'd have to attend a 4-year college, then apply for graduate school and spend 2 more years. With this program, you'll be able to apply, take 3 years at Stockton, and then matriculate immediately into Philadelphia University. So you'll complete a 6-year degree in 5 years, and it's in the field that we so critically need in South Jersey, right here in Atlantic City, and that's physician's assistants. It's the wave of the future for healthcare that we see here, and we're delighted to be bringing Eds and Meds to Atlantic City.
Now, Mayor, we know that education is near and dear to your heart. It was a platform of your campaign. 300,000 scholarships raised during your inauguration. So it must be good for a change to see an education program rather than just a gaming program or a
Absolutely. Listen, gaming's been good to Atlantic City, but the monopoly days of gambling are over. We need a new beginning in Atlantic City, and that new beginning is of diversification. That diversification is going to be the expansion of academia into Atlantic City. Today we announced the Physician's Assistance Program, another little step for Stockton to grow a little bit closer, and I certainly hope by the end of the year we announce a full-blown campus right here in Atlantic City for Stockton as well. It's a great summer. While we're talking now, they're putting the finishing touches on the expansion at Atlantic Cape Community College for the restaurant program. So we have the first of the charter schools opening up this September down on Texas Avenue, and we have the second charter school that we believe will be approved by the state of New Jersey sometime during the summer for an opening in 2015. So at every level, whether we're talking about pre-K or we're talking about graduate programs, this is the future for Atlantic City.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Wait.
Dr. Regis, this must be a proud day, looking back over the history of Reliance,
Yes.
where you came to where you are now,
Right.
and the stature that your organization has achieved.
Well, yes, it is. I think this is a culmination of a vision that we had when the company was first started, and that is access to health care for every U.S. citizen should be a right and not a privilege. And because access now is being hampered somewhat by the lack of primary care providers, we think that bringing this physician assistant program into the city of Atlantic City, a graduate level program, in collaboration with Philadelphia University and the Richard Stockton College, that this is one of the best ways to increase the access to primary care providers in not only in Atlantic County, but also the state of New Jersey.
And it must also be a tribute to you personally that organizations of this level now seek to be aligned with Reliance rather than Reliance looking to be involved with other organizations, that you get to be really the clinical and medical partner that people want to associate with.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Longevity has its place, and we've been around for 30 years. And I think that that didn't happen by accident. We learned a lot, we failed, but we're still here and still standing. And I've always heard that to win the game, you got to still be playing. If you ain't playing, you ain't got no shot. And Reliance is still playing. And we're playing at a different level now. And we're impacting lives at a different level. We're impacting cities and universities now at a different level. And I think it's not by accident that we've been able to do this. Certain people are ordained to do things. I think that Reliance has a certain anointing, so to speak, if you get where I'm coming from, to do what we do. Because if we didn't have it, we wouldn't be able to do it. And so it's not about me, John Regis. It's about Reliance and what it was purposed to do. And we're fulfilling that purpose.
Well, then let me ask you about that, because I know that you have 25 some odd physicians, 150 employees. How much has your organization, your people played a role in terms of making Reliance what it is today?
That is the role. That is the thing that's made Reliance what it is today. As I said before, you know, it used to be a time when I knew everybody, every employee intimately, knew their families. We're too large for that now, but I think the employees that are closest to me have carried out that vision and that message and have touched those other employees that may not touch me or see me every day. And that transference, so to speak, of that vision has made Reliance into what it is today. And we've got staff that is just absolutely unbelievable. They, as I said before, they drank the Kool-Aid. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in the direction that the company's going in, and they are directly responsible for the success and for this program today.
That's great.
Yeah. Does it?
Yep.
All right.
You want to ask Doc anything? We good?
You good?
Okay. Hey, all right.